Welcome to the Subway Job Application Guide video. In this video, you're going to learn what it's like to work at Subway. You're going to hear the good and the bad, the jobs available and what each job is like, how to apply at Subway, the Subway application process, including how long it takes to hear back from them after you apply. And I'll touch on a few of the corporate careers. You'll find out the minimum age to work at Subway, the Subway drug test before they hire an employee, and the job benefits. And I'm going to give you my impression about what I think about getting a job here may mean for you, whether it's a good or a bad idea. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out on any future videos regarding how to fill out an application for a job. Now, working at Subway, what is it like? Past and present employees talk about how it's very busy all the time and it's a great place to work hard and learn about customer service, that the customers are very pleasant, and that they appreciate what you do. Now, if you put forth a lot of effort, management does apparently notice, and they will give you plenty of hours to work. Managers generally treat employees pretty well, and even though for an hourly worker at Subway, the pay was really low, the customers helped out quite a bit by offering some tips, plenty of tips, according to them. Some of the cons and the bad things employees talked about this job was that it was pretty stressful during peak hours like lunchtime and dinner time, and that some workers are expected to be alone for 5 or 6 hours towards the end of the shift. They complained about the pay being extremely low and that there wasn't really a chance to grow within the company. They also said that some managers are difficult to deal with and that some of the Subways don't give enough hours to work so you can make a living. So it's the exact opposite of some of the pros I just mentioned before this. Here are the jobs available at Subway. The sandwich artist. In this position, you're basically the first person a customer sees when they enter through the doors, and you take their orders and start going to work, making their sandwiches and providing other food products and ringing up the cash register eventually. You're gonna work in sync with other sandwich artists and take turns working the cash register. The next job is the Subway shift manager. And this is a position where you're already a supervisor. You're supervising the current staff that's on duty, and you're gonna do many things that the sandwich artist always does, except you'll be responsible for the efficiency and the productivity of the store as well as all the employees. In other words, you're working under the assistant manager who's entrusting you to take care of the business. Now, the Subway assistant manager. This is the next position, and here you're going to be overseeing the shift manager and making sure that the operation runs smoothly. And by the time you make it to Subway assistant manager, you're going to have far less work than a shift manager for sure. But you're going to have more responsibility as far as making sure everything runs smoothly. And you're going to take the heat for your store's failures as well as take some recognition for the successes. Next is the Subway manager. As a manager for Subway, you're going to be the person who runs the entire store, whether you are present or not. In other words, you may be scheduled to come in at 12 o'clock on a Tuesday, and you'll probably schedule yourself to come in on that Tuesday, and you're ultimately responsible for how the store performed during the morning hours when you were gone. This is a tireless job, and you're gonna be working plenty of hours. You're also expected to plan events and promotions for your store, as well as establishing local marketing initiatives so you can go out and find customers in your communities. Now, for the golden question, what is the starting pay for entry-level workers at Subway? Here's the answer. You can expect to make anywhere between $8 to $9 an hour, with the average being $8.50 an hour. Keep in mind, these figures will vary according to what each individual franchise owner decides. Because remember, Subway restaurants are all individually owned franchises, which means that these people invested somewhere around $150,000 to $250,000 to get their store going. This is how Subway operates so many stores around the world. Owners of the franchises, these people are provided with the training and tools necessary, and it's up to them to make the store a success. As far as Subway corporate careers, there are many to choose from. There are 14 corporate offices throughout the world. Now, when I checked, I found openings in technology, marketing, legal, finance, strategic planning, and much more. How do you apply at Subway? Wow, this is a great question. Here's the answer. You can visit the link I have included in the description of this video. And when you get to that page, you're going to see an area where you can click the Apply Now button. And from there, you just follow all the directions and it'll easily guide you to the final page where you can submit your job application. If you need more detailed information, make sure you check out the link to this article I've written for you, and it's associated with this video, and it is also in the video description. One thing I want to point out when you are filling out your application online is make sure that you indicate that you're available to work any and all shifts when you apply. This is going to really increase your chances of getting hired quickly. What is the Subway application process once you fill out the application? Well, I just want you to know first that in some Subways, you can fill out a paper application right there in the presence of management staff. This is probably the best way to go because they get a chance to meet and greet you. If you choose this route, and I recommend you do, make sure you dress in nice clothing and look as professional as possible. And when you get to the store, you can ask the manager or any worker there if you can fill out an application. And if you can, make sure you have all your information ready. I'm talking about your personal information, your references, work history, education history, etc. Everything that you would normally need when you fill out an application. If you fill out that application right there at the store, it's a possibility that you can be hired quickly, meaning possibly right there on the spot. You never know. However, the normal process is that you fill an application out and you get a call back within 1 day to 2 weeks if it's in person. And if you fill it out online, it can be anywhere from 3 days to even 4 weeks, depending on the store's necessity of hiring a new employee. Now, what is the interview like? I would say that the interview is very easy. They might ask you 2 questions. They might ask you 3 to maybe 5. But here is what they might typically ask you. They might say, why do you want to work at Subway? Why did you leave your last job? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? If you see a rude customer, how would you react and what would you do to make things better? Do you get along well with other coworkers? Those are just very common questions. And those are the questions they're going to ask. The minimum age to work at Subway, that's going to be 16 years of age. This is a great job for a teenager in high school who wants to gain some work experience. Now keep in mind that too much work can hinder your studies at school. And if this happens, consult with your parents and try to make a good rational decision as to whether you're going to work there or not. Does Subway conduct a drug test before they hire you? This is really important and a very often asked question. You can relax here because if you're trying to get an entry-level job, most Subways generally do not drug test. Usually because of the cost involved of trying to drug test every applicant who makes it to a certain stage in the hiring process. Now, with that said, if you're going for a corporate position or salaried position, such as assistant manager or manager, you most likely will have to submit to a drug test during a full background check. The Subway job benefits. Unfortunately here, due to every Subway being franchise owned by one person or generally a small group of people, entry-level workers rarely ever get a chance to participate in the benefit plan that they usually offer to management staff. This is a major downer, and it's hard for me to believe that such an amazing company with so much profit doesn't offer its lower-level workers any types of solid benefits now or in the future. This is a major turnoff for me, and I would imagine a major turnoff for many people, maybe even you. With that said, here are some of the benefits that are offered to select employees. They're going to have a group medical, dental, and vision plan. They'll get paid vacation after they work 1 year, a 401k, and it's either matched or unmatched depending on the owner of your store. Some of them give monthly bonuses. Some of them give paid training. There is some paid sick leave and a few other small things here and there. Now, my final thoughts on working at Subway. Well, if you're going after an entry-level position and you don't have to worry about ever getting any health benefits for you or for your family, then this is actually a very good job for you. You're going to be making roughly $8.50 an hour to begin with. And if you want to take your career a little bit further and make assistant manager or manager, it might be worth it. If you're someone who needs to support your family and you need a job desperately, you might be able to get a job quickly at Subway as long as you meet the requirements. However, this job is not going to be able to support your family unless you have somebody else in your household who can provide insurance for you and your other family members. For professionals such as assistant managers and managers, this actually would be a good choice because you're getting plenty of experience in the fast food industry, and it could serve as a tremendous stepping stone to success in any other company. Thanks for watching this in-depth video on how to apply for a job at Subway. For more job application videos, click here on the right, and be sure to subscribe on this button here to the left so you can be the first to see all new job applications and the hourly pay.